Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy. I'm going to try and do a quick little video here about the 2019 Jeep Cherokee, which gets a few updates for 2019, including cosmetics, which are really hard to tell at a glance. You'll actually have to look very closely at them to notice them. And also a new addition to the engine lineup. You can get this with a 2-liter turbo engine now, in addition to the standard 2.4-liter 4 without the turbo and the optional 3.2-liter V6. But the thing that I wanted to talk about before the rain gets too out of hand, if possible, is what sets this thing apart from other crossover SUVs. And crossover SUVs are called crossovers because they're not really SUVs in the sense that SUVs traditionally have either been based on trucks or are very similar to trucks in that they are default rear-wheel drive with the engine mounted front to back longitudinally and not transversely. Most crossovers are based on front-wheel drive cars, and as a result of that they have their engines mounted transversely or sideways, and the default power flow is to the front wheels. Some of them have all-wheel drive systems that do kick some of the power back to the rear wheels, just as in a truck-type four-wheel drive system. When the four-wheel drive is engaged, the front wheels receive some power, so it's kind of the reverse, but it's actually deeper than that. Crossovers are lighter duty. They tend not to have a low-range gear reduction feature like a truck-type SUV system with a 2-speed transfer case and low-range gearing, so they're generally not as capable. This, however, is an exception. It's almost kind of a hybrid. It's very close to being an SUV without actually being an SUV. That is a truck-based SUV. Though the engine is mounted transversely, I'm going to try and show you this, and if I can, without the rain destroying my camera. Alright, there's the engine. This particular one they sent me has the new 2-liter turbo, and as you can see, it's mounted side to side or transversely. If this were a truck type layout, it would be reversed front to rear, like that. But what Jeep has done is to take that basic layout and give it a notched up level of capability by adding what they call a, oh heck, now I'm forgetting the name of it. It's not transfer case, 2-speed power unit to the front transaxle, and it effectively uses a planetary gear system to provide effectively low-range gearing. And there's a similar planetary set in the back, and what you end up with, if you order the system that Jeep offers, you get a very impressive crawl ratio and capability of going seriously off-road, which virtually no other crossover SUV dares to do. This one does dare to do it. It can also pull a pretty impressive load with the V6, 4,500 pounds. The typical crossover, for example, Toyota RAV4, Honda CR-V, they max out at a pretty puny 1,500 pounds. In fact, it's so puny, to give you another number, the base version of the Cherokee with the base engine can still pull 2,000 pounds, which is 500 pounds more than some of the light-duty vehicles in this class. Briefly, some other things that I like about this vehicle are that it has a lot more backseat legroom than is typical in the class, about 40 and change inches of legroom versus about 37 and change in the RAV4 and also the Ford Escape. The big deficit of this vehicle, if it is one for you, is cargo room. Because of the additional capability, the additional gear that they've had to mount in the back around the axle area, just like a truck-based SUV, there's a bit less cargo room. Actually, there's a lot less cargo room than in all of the other crossovers in this class. That's its main functional deficit. Otherwise, though, very capable vehicle, but with still all the advantages of a crossover, or the things that people like about crossovers, which are that they're very easy to drive, they're very car-like in their driving feel. They don't feel heavy and clunky like trucks do. Anyway, I'll have more of the straight dope for you up at epautos.com, but I'm going to get inside now before this rain finally does kill my poor little camera. So thanks for viewing, and we'll catch up with you again soon.